going to record. So here we are. It is this March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I don't know if little leprechauns visit your houses. They did not visit ours. I'm slacking. But anyway, we're just going to talk about a couple things. I have a couple people that are going to talk with us tonight, and I'm very excited to hear from some people. And I wanted to just share a little bit. I had a call with Melanie recently, and I just got some ideas for strategies that I wanted to share with you all for the upcoming month. So we'll do that in a bit, but why don't we start with you, Shannon? She's going to just give us updates. These are updates from Beachbody that most of what you can find in the back office, but sometimes it's nice just to talk about it and hear that. So if you're ready, take it away.
I am, but before I do that, Crystal just messaged me back, and she is going to get on. She's trying to launch Zoom now, so.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even know that there was a showcase challenge pack. Has anybody else heard of that? I never knew that. And apparently there's something called the Showcase Challenge Pack, which is for new coaches signing on. And it's basically a package to get coaches started, which I never even knew was out there. So for $295, the Showcase Challenge Pack they get 3 fitness programs, the 21-Day Fix, Kaio, and Insanity Max 30. They get Shakeology HD, a 30-day free trial membership to Beachbody Club, a business starter kit that we all get, and popular coach tools, which includes the Shakeology Super Sampler, which is being launched today, which I'll be sharing that with you, 5 Shakeology tote bags, 10-pack of Shakeology welcome guide little card thingies, and a 5-pack of Beachbody product catalog. I think that's amazing for $295, all of that. And a really good thing too is that we make $100 commission on that. So not only is a new coach getting, I think 3 workout programs alone is worth that. But then of course, we make the $100 commission too, which is always nice. So I don't know if any of you know, but it is the 6th year anniversary of Shakeology. So because of that, which this is pretty awesome. Have you ever wondered why you can only get like 4 sample packs of regular and then 4 sample packs of vegan, but why can't you get that all together? Well, now you can. So starting today, the Shakeology Sampler Pack, you're going to get all, 6 or 7 flavors? All 6 flavors for $30. So anybody who's looking to try, all of the Shakeology samples, they can now get that for $29.95. So that is being launched today. So also too, because it's the anniversary of Shakeology, Shay Stanford got on the National Wake Up Call yesterday, which I have not personally listened to yet, but I plan to, because she started out as a Shakeology drinker customer, just like many of us, and she worked her way up to Superstar Diamond coach in just a few years, just by building her business with Shakeology and just basically building relationships and keeping long Shakeology drinkers instead of, I know I have a lot of times, they buy it and then next month they stop. So she actually is sharing her recipe to, keep her Shakeology active. I'm sorry, something just popped up on my screen. But your Shakeology consumers going. So I definitely plan on listening to that. So I think you guys all should too, because Shakeology, anytime somebody's on HD, just think of how much that can build their business, because I think the commission's like $32 and change each month. So if you have like 1 trillion Shakeology HD users every month, just think of how much more you'd be making a month, my opinion. Beachbody On Demand, the purchase programs part of the whole Beachbody On Demand is being launched on March 19th. And the first, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, so Beachbody On Demand came out, and there's a bunch of different workout programs that are being offered under Beachbody On Demand. P90Xs, Turbo Fire, and Brazilian Butt Lift, and a few others. So now if our customers that have the club membership, if they have purchased the 21-day fix, the 21-day fix extreme, and T25 starting on March 19th, they'll be able to now stream them on Beachbody On Demand. So I believe like every month they're going to be rolling out new programs that are going to be under the purchase program. So they no longer will need the DVDs. They can just go on Beachbody On Demand and stream them, you know, on basically anything that has internet. So if anybody has any questions, you know, just let me know. What else do I want to tell you guys? Oh, March Success Club. So every month that you hit Success Club, Beachbody gives away a free gift. It could be, you know, Beachbody swag. It could be a book. It's something cool usually every month. So this month, which I got a kick out of this, you are going to be getting Beachology. No, I said it wrong. Beachbodyopoly, which is Monopoly, but Beachbody style. So I thought that was pretty neat. So you'll be getting that board game. So everybody who hits Success Club 5 will be getting Beachbodyopoly. Okay. So, all right. So the Success Club trip to Cancun, I'm going to minimize all you guys because there's a lot of information. I couldn't memorize it all. So I know for me personally, I earned the free trip and unfortunately probably will not go because I'm still on the waiting list. But I hope there are some people on our team that will be able to go. So there are some there's some things that they want you all to know before going. Number one, bring your passport. Bring a valid passport. Beachbody has already booked your hotel accommodations, and your guests will be allowed to attend all non-qualified Beachbody sponsored events. They do not recommend taking a cab from the airport to the resort. That kind of sounds scary, but they said to make sure you book a discounted shuttle with tropical incentives prior to your trip, and that information is in our back office. About the resort, it says, please get dropped off at the Moon Palace Arena and not the lobby. Your wristbands must be worn at all times. The excursions, there will be a representative at the registration desk to assist you with those. Check-in time is at 3 o'clock and checkout time is at 12. Cell phones and internet, the resort offers free Wi-Fi throughout the property, so please be sure to download the Cancun app from the Apple Store. And what to pack, the dress code is resort casual. So the hotel requires men to wear long pants in the evenings. Events will be held indoors and outside. So there's a whole list in our back office if I spoke too fast and you guys want to read it for yourselves. So I'm sadly not going, probably. But anyway, next year we'll all be on the cruise next year, right? We're gonna all earn a free trip to go on the cruise, right? So, and then there are a couple of changes with I'm gonna minimize you guys again, in the leads program. So the customer leads program, so it used to be if you hit Emerald, you'll be able to automatically get customer leads. And then if you hit, I think it was Success Club 5, you would get Success Club leads, which means that you get the commission on what was purchased. Well, starting April 1st, that's all going to change. So this is another incentive to get Success Club 5 now. So starting April 1st, to get customer leads, you're going to have to not only be Emerald, but you will have to hit Success Club 5. That's the new change. So you're still going to have to make sure your business service fees are up to date. You're still going to have to be a paid member for the Beachbody Club. You still have to make sure that your profile, your bio, and your before and after picture updated. And now you have to hit Success Club 5. So for Success Club leads, for you to now make the commission starting April 1st, you're going to have to get Success Club 10. All right, so another incentive to get those Success Club points. Any questions on that so far? Okay. And then I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about is just to remind everybody what the Challenge Pack sales are for the month. Of course, the Team Beachbody Club Challenge Pack is still there for $140, which includes the 90-day, which includes the Beachbody On Demand and the club membership for 90 days, and the 30 servings of Shakeology. The Focus T25 Challenge Pack is on sale, I think, for $180. Turbo Fire, I believe, is $140, and then the 3-day refresh is also still on sale. The challenge pack for, I didn't write that one down. Does anybody know the price of the? Is it 140? I think it's 140. Yeah. All right. That was a lot of information that I just discussed. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm just going to add, I don't know if you guys know, Shay Stanford's part of our upline team. She's part of so we have Melanie up there, and then above her, and then Lindsay Matway, and then Shay's under Lindsay Matway. So anyway, I've heard her speak before, and she's amazing, and she has one of my favorite lines ever, I think, because she's has a nutrition background herself, and she loves Shakeology. And anyway, one of my favorite lines that she said is that there's no bad exercise or fitness program out there, but there is bad nutrition. She herself is like an avid soccer player, so I don't know how much she does of Beachbody workout programs. She may. I don't follow her closely, but she's such a big believer in Shakeology that they've actually had her speak at Summer Summit a couple of times, and she has a great call. So anyway, I was just going to reiterate how tune into that call if you haven't already, because she's amazing. And she's the one that's spoken and created videos on like that. It's Shakeology is really whole foods, and she just really knows her stuff. So take a listen if you haven't already.
So I guess the only one thing that I want to add is, Success Club, there's so many incentives that Beachbody gives you, the free gifts every month, and now the leads and the Success Club leads. But overall, that should be non-negotiable for all of us that want to move our business forward. We should be hitting Success Club 5 every month, because that is a good way to determine, that our business is moving forward. So that should be such a strong goal that each one of us have as, working coaches. So just want to. And plus, you can also win a free trip too next year.
Woohoo! Yeah. Right. Thank you. That was great. Great reminders and information. Crystal, how are you doing? Wait, let me unmute you.
I'm good.
It's nice to see you. I'm so sorry about your dog.
I know.
Thanks for getting on anyways.
The girls are actually better right now, so that's good.
Aw. Well, we invited Crystal to talk tonight because she's been having some success, and as Shannon puts it, has a fire lit under her. And I just wanted to invite her to share a bit about what kind of has shifted in her mind that's helped her move forward and kind of keep it rolling as a coach. So take it away, Crystal.
It's gonna be short and sweet. The biggest thing is I'm a nurse. I don't know if you all know that, but I work in home care, and so when I'm done with the patients, there's still lots and lots of paperwork at the end. I don't get to leave my job and leave it there. So the past month has been horrific, with a lot of extra time at home. I'm up till 11, 12 o'clock at night doing paperwork. And then I did the cup challenge, and I was the only one on the team who didn't get any Success Club points because I did not do what I was supposed to do. And I decided that was going to change. So I invited my little butt off, and I got 2 people who are doing the challenge. Only one of them ordered the challenge pack, but the other one is converting. She's just really, really slow to do it. So hopefully I'll be at Success Club 4 by the end of this week. And I only need 1 more point to get 5. So that's it, really.
Yeah. So just say a little bit more. So it sounds like you kind of are starting to kind of put your why together. What's your motivation and are you thinking eventually about maybe this job is not where you want to go, or what? Tell us more about that part.
You know, I've already been a nurse for 20 years, so, you know, it's getting a little old. It's time to move in a different direction. But that's not so easy to do. So maybe with Beachbody, I can do that. So.
Yeah. And you were telling me a little bit about like just getting over the objections easier now.
It's not easier, just as much as I'm just not going to let it bother me anymore. You know, Melanie says for every 100 no's, you're going to get like 1 or 2 yeses. So I'm going to just take those no's and just put them aside.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point, especially if you can take the emotion out of the objections. I know
Absolutely.
it's hard to do, but it is like, it's so important to do. And it sounds like you're kind of moving in that direction, which is.
Yeah, and I want to add that because I keep drilling into my team that the no's are going to turn into yeses. I mean, Melanie says it, I say it, it's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of us, you know, that have been in the business. And I think Crystal got her first.
Yeah. No, that turned into a yes.
Yeah.
Like the person who gave me the successful point, she actually contacted me. I contacted her in October, November, December, and then kind of left it go. And then she contacted me and then bought the 21-day fix in addition to the 3-day refresh. So she started our challenge group yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was a no that turned into a yes.
Yeah. I gotta say, like just this past week, there's this lady that I always see her liking my stuff. She never comment, but she's always liking, and I'm always trying to reach out, and not one time in the many months that I've been messaging her, and I didn't stop messaging her. And it was just like a hi, how are you? It wasn't always to invite to a challenge group, but I didn't stop. And she came out of nowhere last week and wanted to, you know, talk to me about, you know, what I was doing that made me so successful. And I actually shared that conversation with my team just to show them how the conversation went. But it just goes to show you that like people are watching you, even though they're not responding to you. So it's just so important to just not take it personally that they're just not ready yet. And from that coming from me, like that says a lot, because you guys have to know me from when I was a new coach, that I took it so personally. I've had so many conversations with Kathleen and the team that I took every no so personally. Or every time that they didn't message me back, I took it personally. And you just can't, because eventually they'll come around. Not everybody, but a lot. So I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Well, I love it, Crystal. I love hearing that you got some motivation going, and sometimes it takes the down months to pick you up and, you know, help you move on back up the whatever I'm trying to say path. So I love it, and I'm glad you found some motivation.
Katie's a motivator too. I see her sitting there just kind of taking it all in. Katie and I partnered together to be Success Club partners. So.
Oh, good. I love it.
Yeah. I want to give a huge shout out because Katie has really, really, really been doing really well lately too. So, holla.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Good. Okay, so I'm going to actually talk with you a bit. So here's where I am in my business, just because we're collectively, we're such a new team, and I feel like, you know, there are leaders on the team, but we're all still learning, and probably always will be. I hope we always will be, but sometimes it's helpful to just hear, I think, where we're all coming from. And so I just wanted to share this with you, and I know we're all in different places, but whatever, if you can take anything from this, awesome. And if down the line you want to rehear this, which happens to me all the time, I hear it once and I'm like, I'm not ready yet, and then later on I'm like, oh, let me hear that again. Anyway, take whatever you want from this, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. So I just keep thinking lately that that I need a better strategy for the month and for like the weeks. And so often I've done something where like I have this idea for a group or whatever, I post about it one time, you get like a little bit of something, some likes, maybe a few comments, maybe a message, or maybe nothing. And then you think like, that didn't really work. and then that's the end of that. And it just keeps, like, I keep hearing from, or maybe I'm just open to it now, but I keep hearing other people talking and other ideas about strategy, have a strategy, and this idea that, like, people need to hear something more than once, just like Shannon was saying. Like, it's just something that it's not going to happen the first time. I think about myself. It took me 4 months to go from a no to a maybe, and then okay, I'll give it a try, but I'm skeptical. So anyway, so thinking that through, Melanie spoke at the New Leader Conference back in January about her strategy, and I was really taken to this idea that she's actually thinking. I mean, you can see why she's so successful in this business. She's actually thinking like weeks and weeks ahead. Like, she plans out her whole month. She doesn't just sit there and say, oh, I got to put a challenge group on the calendar. Let me do a post about it one time and hope that people see it, because it just doesn't quite happen like that. So she actually thinks ahead, and she posts about the same group, whether it's a challenge group or recruiting, and she does one of each month. She'll do the same kinds of, she'll pick a theme and she'll stick with that theme for 2 weeks at least. And then she does and all the while she's helping people see what she's doing, and she's got this theme, so she's posting about it in different ways over the course of 2 weeks. And I've never tried that before, where it's like a longer period of time. I think the most I've ever done was I've split a week, like, okay, I'll post about something, I'll try and post about it from like Sunday to Wednesday or Wednesday to Sunday or something like that. And then I'm like, okay, well, that was the end of that. And this whole idea that people just need to hear about it and hear about it and hear about it, like commercials, you know, like where they're kind of weighing us, you know, chipping away or whatever, like that's kind of the idea. And I wanted to share that with you, because for me, and if you want, you can, I'm going to give it a go. It's my first time. You can certainly watch Melanie. I'd highly recommend that. But if you want to start watching me, I'm going to start this process because I want to try this. Starting on Sunday, I'm going to do the post, and for 2 weeks, I'm going to post about recruiting for the next Coach Basics, which will start April 6th. So I'm going to post for 2 weeks, and again, this is my first try at it, so be kind if you're going to watch me do it, and I would take any feedback that you want to give me. But what I'm going to do, and I know not all of you have blogs, but my plan is to have a blog post about, a very detailed blog post about the Coach Basics that we're going to do, and I'm going to pick a theme for it. And my theme will be different than your themes because we're all different and we're all trying to attract different people. But I'm playing with this idea in my head that, you know, Lance Armstrong has the book, It's Not About a Bike. It's not about the bike or whatever. And I want to do some kind of theme that's like, it's not about the beach body because that's never been what it's been about for me. It's not about the way my body looks. It's about how I feel. It's about being a better mom. It's about all these other things. So anyway, so that's going to be my theme. I'm going to play around with that. And I'm going to put the blog post out there on Sunday. And then for 2 weeks, I'm going to be posting little snippets that will point people back to that blog post and that idea. And I'm going to kind of try and hammer and chip away and see how it goes. So I'll spend a week doing that. And then the second week, we'll have the sneak peek thing for any interested coaches. And then the following week, we'll start Coach Basics. So I wanted to say that because I think we could do this with the challenge groups as well, and I would highly recommend it. So for April, the idea would be then starting April 5th. So once I've had 2 weeks of that, I'm going to shift my focus to a challenge group. And between now and then, I'm going to try and come up with a theme for that, and then do the same thing, have like a blog post or whatever that will be about a theme. And if you want, we can try and pick something together, although I think since we all have different markets, maybe we could team up in smaller groups that make sense to fit together. So like, for example, some of the other themes that she talked about were like busy moms, or, you know, people have done themes about whatever, like summer's coming and like that. You could certainly do that. You don't have to, I wouldn't actually in any way encourage you to do the theme I'm doing because we're speaking to different markets, but maybe you want to do something with beach, like that the beach is coming up, or bikinis or whatever. I don't know. It's up to you. But anyway, so picking the theme and then planning your posts to kind of fit back to that, the pieces together. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't, yes, you're kind of nodding. Okay. So let me just run through. She kind of had these steps, and one was, the first one, I think this is so great, is to pretend like you're speaking when you're writing your post, pretend like you're speaking to just one single person, one person. So you could make up the person, or maybe you have a real person in your mind who you're talking to. So so it could be you're talking to yourself. Thanks. I was wondering, maybe I didn't know I had a whatever. Anyway, something on my face. Anyway, so maybe you want to pretend like you're talking to yourself before you started this journey. Maybe you want to pretend you're talking to a good friend of yours who you'd really love. If you're going to try it for the coaching thing, maybe you want to talk to a good friend of yours who you want to encourage to become a coach. And I have to tell you this quick story that I didn't even intend. I didn't realize this was a thing. And one of the groups that I did months, and maybe it was even a year ago now, I called it Mom in the Shot, and it was a group for where I had people giving away a prize for it was these 4 local people competed to get a chance at a photo shoot with a local photographer, and I worked out a deal with her because I saw this picture on Facebook of a mom who seemed to be kind of hiding in the background, and I thought, that's so sad. She should be in the picture. And I thought that was me. I would kind of put a kid in front of me because I was a little embarrassed about how I looked or whatever. So anyway, but I saw this mom, and I didn't realize at the time I was thinking of her. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't realize it was a marketing strategy. I was thinking of her, and I did this whole Mom in the Shot thing. And she actually became a customer, not with that one, but a little bit down the line. And I was like, holy moly, that's the same person that I was talking to. So it works. So anyway, so you pretend like you're talking to one person, your posts go to that person, and then that will help your posts speak to people a little bit more than a generic, hey, everybody, blah, blah, blah. No, you're talking to a person. What would they be struggling with? What are you trying to help show them that you understand where they are? And then, so that's step 1. And then step 2 is having this idea or this theme, and you're painting the picture of whichever group you're going with, the coaching recruiting or the challenger recruiting, you're kind of painting a picture. Maybe you have a tagline or something like that, and you create some kind of really nice image to go along with it. Whether it's a nice quote or you or both or whatever, something like that. Then you could do a blog post. And I did send Melanie a message because I'm not sure if you don't have a blog. I'm not sure if that would be your maybe it's a Facebook, something on your like page. I'll fill in that detail when I hear back about that. But you would do a little, if you're going to do a blog post, you do a little backstory on yourself so that people get the idea that, yes, she is like me. We can connect. We're together. And then you would make if you're doing a blog post, you would make it that you're only accepting a limited number of people in the group. So you kind of give it the idea that that they will be a part of something exclusive, and that you have goals for the group and stuff like that. And then let's see, so that would be step 3. Then step 4 is putting it out there. And she said, and I think we all maybe have heard this before, that Sunday night's probably the best time, although your markets may or may not be the same, but mine is Sunday or Monday night, seem to be the highest traffic on Facebook. And then you just start sharing stuff about it. So I think what will be really helpful for me in particular is I sit down to post something and I'm like, I don't know. I just know I got to post something. I don't know what to say. And by doing this in advance, thinking through what would be some of the things I would post to this person, what might this person want to hear, I think will really help me in particular figure out what to post, and having some planned ahead and having some quotes ready and stuff like that. And then I like this phrase, flooding them with possibilities. What could happen if they become a coach, or if they join your challenge group, what could happen? And then also going through, and then the last part, going through some commonly asked questions, maybe about challenge groups or about coaching. And if you want to do videos or whatever, just kind of filling in the gaps with that. So.
Kathleen, you muted yourself.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you. Anyway, this last piece is that I heard from somebody else, not from the thing with Melanie, that the testimonials that we use, they shouldn't just be about ones that we think sound good or, you know, I mean, that's nice. So when you say somebody lost X amount of weight or whatever, but if we can get testimonials that actually would speak to people's objections, so like a testimonial of somebody who thought Shakeology was expensive, but then it really worked for them or whatever, like those are much more meaningful to people that are sitting back waiting for the right moment. So that's something I have a little goal up. I've been trying to collect testimonials, but I wonder if we could maybe start like a file in Inspiration Nation of testimonials of like to speaking towards specific objections like price and time and whatever, like somebody saying that they didn't think they had enough time, but you know, but this is only 30 minutes a day, blah, 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 something like that. Okay. So do you guys have questions about any of that, or do you want me to go into more detail about any of that stuff? Everybody's muted, but not me anymore. Thank you. Anybody, if you want to, oh, good.
I like that idea. And like having kind of more of a set schedule. I think that could make it a lot easier. I don't know. If it's the same basic one every month, I think it'd be a lot easier to plan and have the whole team on the same page kind of. But, I mean, are you going to put all this into a document in?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So we can see it.
Yeah.
I'm better at seeing things written out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm writing that down. That's a good idea.
I was going to say something real quick to add to that, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've all, you know, when we talk about like planning now, at least the last month, we sort of planned this month, next month, and the following month, and they all sort of went with the same schedule, you know, maybe a few tweaks here and there. And I think it's helpful, you're right, for us, for all the coaches in our team, you know, and even though there are times we do little different things here and there, I feel like we're all sort of on the same page. So if we're starting like, you know, if we have like so many people in a 21-day fix group, there's at least maybe a group or two to fit them in, whatever. But I was going to say, going in line with, you know, what you were talking about with Melanie, this was like maybe a month ago. Somebody posted in one of her groups, it might have been the Rising Stars group, I wanted to do something different with the clean eating group because I think I'm just getting like tired of the same thing. You know, and even though everybody else coming into it is very new to it, I just wanted something different because I was getting bored with it. And so somebody had posted, and you guys may have seen it. It was like a 10-day drop a jean size pants clean eating group. And it was free. And so I asked my team if it would be something they wanted to do next month. And so I think we're going to do it. And then I also saw just kind of going in line with like what you were saying of like having a strategy, having a plan, like, you know, everybody posts that week about this free clean eating thing. And then somebody else had posted they did a challenge group right at, well, I don't know if they did it after, but we were thinking like doing a challenge, making next month's challenge group like kind of revolve around that, like drop a jean size, whatever, that'd be like the theme. And this woman who did it, you know, in the dream team, she had like all different posts about it, and it wasn't like revolving around, you know, she had like a picture of like her size 14 jeans that she wore, you know, a year ago, and then the jeans that she's wearing now, and they were like right next to each other, and she was like very proud of the fact that she, you know, did drop a size, but she wanted to feel better about herself, and you know, so there were just different ways that she posted about it, and I just thought it was really neat. So, you know, having that come right after like a free group where you just keep it up, I don't know, I was just thinking of different ways to promote it, and like you were saying with your theme that you're going to do and kind of carry it out. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think the message that I love that. I love that idea, and I love that you could, yeah, keep it going. I think the message that I want to say from that is just that it seems like it takes people, like I would give something 2 weeks now. That's what I keep hearing, and maybe even a little longer if there's like an extra Monday in a month or something like that. because I kept thinking like you only needed a few days and people would hear it and they'd be on board. So anyway, if you're going to do that, I would say do it and then even have an extra week in there before
Yeah.
or after, you know.
Well, even with this clean eating group, we didn't have an extra whole week in there. And so, like, some of them, they just weren't prepared for how much a challenge pack was going. They wanted to do it, but they weren't prepared for how much it was going to cost. And so they need like a month to save up for it, or they need a little heads up on, you know, so they're not in this group, but maybe they'll be in next month, you know. So you're right, there has to be like a week at least, like maybe 2 weeks in between the two. So
Yeah, I've been doing a week in between and then starting with a preseason a week long. So giving basically 2
yeah,
weeks.
which is
I
good.
kind
because-
of wish that we can find somebody who has a lot of success transitioning from the clean eating group to a paying group, because like I don't have, I mean, I have success, but not a huge success for transitioning to the very next one. But I mean, I have some that have come back around and have joined ones in, you know, later. But I just wonder if there is just like a way to like word it. I don't know if that's something that we can post in one of the other groups, because I just feel like me and my team can be doing better in that area in converting them into, you know, challengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same. If we could figure that out, boy, that would be awesome.
I don't know.
We're like masters of free.
We are.
Which isn't a bad thing. Or maybe, I mean, I guess we can, I think we definitely could ask about that, see if we get any feedback. But my other thought is that maybe we think of the free group people for the next month's challenge group. Maybe they don't convert that quickly, but we keep them engaged until the next one. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, it takes me a week to convert people sometimes, and then
Yeah.
if that,
I definitely keep my relationships going, you know, with them. So hopefully they will eventually convert. But I just wish that there was like a way that we can word it, you know.
Mhm. Well, I do think too, a lot of it is they just don't know like what is involved in a challenge group. Like I had so many people that were like, yes, I want to be in it. And then I said, okay, we have to get the program and here are the whatever. And we kind of introduced the 21 Day Fix, which is one of the cheaper programs. And most of the objections were, yikes, I wasn't ready for that. Okay, I really want to do it, but I can't do it right now. Like I can't spend $140 or $60 right off the bat. So I feel like even if there was more time in between, that would be helpful, you know. But I don't know. You're right. I don't know if there's a better way.
Yeah. I mean, I do the clean eating group the first week of the month and then a challenge group the third week of the month. So I don't know if I could even, I don't want to push it any further.
No, yeah, that'd be too far. Yeah, that's kind of what we do too, and it works with our schedules. But maybe they'll do the next month. Maybe we have to almost plan for those people to be the next month, and then the people in April are going to do, you know, May. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just, I guess about just keeping in touch with them and keep the conversation going, you know, until the next one and reinvite them, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, if we could figure that out. Yeah. Let's ask around. Maybe there's somebody that can help us with that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so then speaking of that, so for April, just to start you guys thinking about that, and myself included, a little bit early. So my thought would be April 6th would be the Coach Basics. So starting March 22nd, like I said, March 22nd, I'm going to start with I'm going to start with a blog post with a theme for recruiting, and I'm going to post about it for 2 weeks. We'll have the sneak peek group starting on March 30th. And that would be for anybody interested in coaching. They can get a sneak peek of it. And then, wait a minute, I'm starting to echo. There we go. And then so when that starts, when the Coach Basics group starts, I'm going to shift my focus and I'm going to post for 2 weeks about the challenge group that I'm going to start April 20th. That's my plan. And then when April 20th rolls around, I'm going to shift back and focus again on recruiting. And then the next Coach Basics will start the first Monday in May, which would be May 4th. So that's my plan. You are welcome to jump on board, or if you want to do your own thing, by all means, whatever you want to do. But that's my plan, and I will keep posting about it. I'll make up a doc about the and post in the files about those steps that I just was telling you about. And you are welcome to post any feedback that you like, because we can try it together if you like. And again, themes, I think maybe could be individual, or maybe if we want to kind of pair up or something like that. But I don't want anybody to have a theme that doesn't fit for them. You know what I mean? That wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be authentic.
Do you mind if I just add to that? I'm sorry, and I'm probably talking too much, but so there's definitely something to that with the posting, because I know for me, like when I do the ads for the free cleaning group, like I get like 50 million friends from it, and then they scroll through my news feed, and I actually gained a coach that way. She commented on one of my posts that I was advertising for Help Wanted, and she said she wanted to be a coach, and she became a coach. So I think that there's just something, it's just so important to post, like, I feel like when we're doing those clean eating ads, like we should make sure like our news feed should be like, you know, our Facebook pages should be like on key with like everything you'd want them to see. Because if, like, I know we've talked about this before, like when you friend somebody, you scroll through their Facebook wall, right? So it would be the same for, I guess, all these new people that are, sending us friend requests. So I actually gained a coach that way. So if you're, talking about coaching, and then these people are going to, see all your posts. So
yeah, it's such a good point.
Add that.
Yeah, good point. I remember running one of those ads. Somebody friended me, and they went through and like started liking, and I was online at the time, and I was like, "Ooh, this is weird." Like she's liking. You could see how far down she was going on the timeline. Okay, well, we're gonna end the call tonight. Leah's gonna give us some inspiration for the week, which I'm excited about. So there you go. You got it. So go for it.
All right. Well, when you messaged me, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't know. So I just went on Pinterest and I was like looking for quotes to kind of give me something. And I found one. It says, when you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you'll have more opportunities. And I thought it fit really well with earlier when we were talking about when we're getting a lot of no's. You start to feel bogged down, and you just feel like, oh, nobody's going to buy it. Why do I even bother? Why should I spend this much time doing it? But really, you should just be positive. Focus on inviting, because you're going to be helping somebody. Even if it's one person saying yes, you're changing their lives. And just keep that positive thinking, because it'll just grow and grow, and forget about all the negative. That's it.
I love it. I love it. That's so great. It's funny that you said that, because I actually for my own sake, I just started writing. Like I was trying to journal every night, and then I was realizing that sometimes I didn't realize you didn't have anything to journal about. So I just started like this little paper that says, how have I been a good parent today? How have I been a good wife today? How have I been good to myself today? Like trying to keep myself, okay, even if it feels like I failed all over the place, what can I write? One good thing about this, one good thing about this, one good thing about that. So anyway, I love it. I think that's so important. That was a really good quote.
That's actually a really good idea, Kathleen, because it's so easy to focus on the negative in everything, not even just being a coach in life, And it's, that positive attitude really has a lot to do with everything.
Yes. I'll post that if you want in the group too. I'll post my little paper I made. I actually titled it, wait, what did I title it? Building my self-worth. Sometimes I need it. I need some help. I'll post that in the doc. Will you post the quote in Inspiration Nation? Will you post that?
Yes, I will.
Cool. Okay, everybody. So we are scheduled to talk again in 2 weeks, which would be the 31st of March. If anybody has anything in mind that you'd like to hear more about, or if you're feeling inspired to talk about something, successes, or something that you wanted to learn more about and just kind of have a place to share it with people, that would be awesome. That will be in the middle of our sneak peek, so hopefully we'll all have some potential coaches in there having a great experience. That would be awesome. And I did want to tell you real quick too, for everybody, the next Super Saturday is April 25th, or if it's Super Sunday, that would probably be April 26th, or some people do Super Fridays, but it's that weekend. And I know in Pittsburgh, we're aiming for the Super Saturday, so the 25th. But we've talked about it before. Getting to events is so worth whatever time and effort it takes to get there, because it's just a chance to meet in person. I mean, these calls are awesome, but being around people in person is even better. I think every time there's you never know who's gonna speak and be talking directly to you in that moment. But so many aha moments, I think, come in being live and in person with people. There's amazing stories that they share. Often there's live workouts, which can be so cool just to be around other people. So if you can put that on your calendar, that's again April 25th-ish, wherever you are. And if any of you have trouble finding your Super Saturday wherever you're located, please let us know, and we'll help you figure out if there's one close to you. I know at Pittsburgh, they haven't actually determined the location yet, so that should be coming out very soon. And that is all. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for getting online tonight. It's so good to see you all. And yes, unmute yourself if you want to say anything else.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Ladies of my team, we'll talk about what the sneak peek is on our call on Thursday.
Okay. Okay. Night.
Thanks. Good
Bye,
night.
guys.